Good day, everyone. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Tartila. I am a student, as a Doctor of Education student at Murdoch University. My supervisors are Dr. Rebecca Saunders and Professor Judy McCallum. I want to present my research with the title Exploring Indonesian English Language Teachers' Perspective of Continual Curriculum Change in Islamic Senior High Schools, or MA. In the last 2 decades, Indonesia has undergone major curriculum change. Competency-based curriculum in 2004, school-based curriculum in 2006, and curriculum 2013 or K13 in 2013 until now. Since the issuance of K13, there have been several significant revisions for the past 5 years, especially for English language subject. 2013 curriculum is a curriculum which emphasizes the process of building attitudes, knowledge, and skills of students through various teaching approaches. There are several significant K-13 revisions for English language teaching at senior secondary schools. The revisions are changes in teaching time allocation, change or revision in teaching approach, revisions in teaching planning documents, and revisions in the way to assess the students. As many teachers in Indonesia are not competent enough in teaching, evidenced by the uneven professional development activities, the continual curriculum change or revision has been challenging for many teachers. There are 3 research questions in my research. The first one is, what are teachers' experience of implementing the K-13 revisions? What are teachers' perceptions of the K-13 revisions? And the last research question is, what factors facilitate or hinder teachers' implementation of the K-13 revision? Fullan's model of educational change and concern-based adoption model, or CBAM construct of stages of concern, underpin this study. Both models provide a framework and accompanying strategies to support successful and sustained change implementation. Fullan's educational change model was used to explore the teacher's experience in each phase of curriculum change process, while stages of concern or SOC was used to help better understand and reveal the teacher's effective responses to continual curriculum revisions. In terms of Fullan model of educational change, there are 3 broad phases to the change process. They are initiation, implementation, and continuation. Initiation consists of the process that includes a decision to adopt a change, while implementation is the first 2 or 3 years of putting a change initiative into practice. Institutionalization or continuation of the implementation phase is the new scheme is preserved beyond the first or second year, or whatever time frame chosen. In terms of stages of concern developed by Jane E. Hall and Shirley M. Horde in 2022, this concern or this SOC is an evidence-based construct for understanding the personal side of change. This is also to address and understand about how our feelings and perceptions evolve as a change process unfolds. The SOC consists of 7 stages, which range from the lowest to the highest levels. Unconcerned. The teachers indicate little concern, interest, and involvement with the innovation. Informational, personal, management, consequence, collaboration, and until refocusing, where the teacher begins refining the innovation to improve student learning results or replacing it entirely. A qualitative methodology was adopted to guide this research in addressing the research problem. An interpretive approach within qualitative research methodology was chosen. According to Creswell and Creswell 2018, an interpretive approach helps the qualitative researcher to make meaning of participant perspective and experience. A deeper understanding of teachers' perceptions, experience, and factors affecting the implementation of catered interventions could be sought by working with the constructivist paradigm, because the teachers could reflect their knowledge and understanding based on interaction between their prior knowledge and experience in implementing the catered interventions. Furthermore, a case study was used in this research because of its capacity to present deep understanding and illustrate concepts that would expand the reader's understanding about the phenomenon under investigation. In order to obtain a fuller and broader picture of data under investigation, multiple case studies or collective case studies was employed to obtain more detailed data. So, the description of the research result becomes more precise and more detailed. This research involved teachers teaching at Islamic Senior Secondary School or MA. MA, similar to religious high schools in Australia, with the age of students and the level of education. MA is managed by Indonesian Ministry of Religious Affairs or MORA. The students study at MA for 3 years, from year 10 to year 12. MA provide at least 30% more Islamic lessons than the public schools. There are two types of MA, the state one called MAN, the private one called MAS. The state is carried out by government institution, while the private is carried out by private foundations. MAN, or the state one, receive better educational assistance from MORA, while MAS receive less. The school management in MAN is more accountable and open compared to MAS. MAN have more competent students, and MAN have more competent teachers. There are several terms related to the teacher participants in this research, like certified teachers, civil servant teachers, uncertified civil servant teachers, certified non-civil servant teachers, and uncertified non-civil servant teachers. Certified teachers are teachers who have succeeded in obtaining an educator certificate because they have met professional standards as teachers. They receive additional salary monthly. And civil servant teachers, teachers who have successfully passed recruitment organized by the government and are given a monthly prosperous salary and opportunity for professional development. When retired, civil servant teachers receive a monthly pension. So other terms are only combination between these terms. So if it is uncertified civil servant teachers, it means that the teachers are civil servants but have not been qualified as professional teachers. There are 14 English language teachers participated in this research. They come from different school status, school accreditation mark, and the teachers themselves are from different employment status, certification status, and teaching year experience. These are the details of teachers participating in this research. So there are 3 types of teaching year experience. The first one from 5 to 10 years, and then 11 to 20 years, there are 7 teachers, and 21 to 30 years, there are 3 teachers. and the teachers are varied in terms of gender, employment status, certification status, school status, and school accreditation mark. There are two types of data collection methods in this research. The first one is individual interview and the second one is focus group discussion. Because the research were conducted, the data were gathered at the start of COVID-19 pandemic, and the researchers could not conduct face-to-face interview and focus group discussion. So online individual interview and online focus group discussions were conducted. Online individual interview part 1 is to explore individual teachers' perceptions, and in the part 2, this interview is to explore individual teachers' experience, while in online focus group discussion, this focus group is to explore teachers' collective perceptions and experience, and also to explore the facilitating and hindering factors collectively from the teachers and adding to the individual interview data. In analyzing the data gathered, the researcher analyzed each case or each school separately, and the researcher explored the similar and different patterns derived from the data. In analyzing the data, the researcher used two-cycle coding methods by Saldana and thematic analysis, and also the researcher used software which is NVivo. Especially for individual interview part 1, which is to explore individual teachers' perceptions, the researcher used a manual for assessing open-ended statements of concerns about an innovation by New Love and Hall 1976. Okay, now we come to the findings of the research about what are teachers' experience in implementing K-13 revisions, specifically in initiation stage, using Fulan's lens. So there are several emerging themes. The first one is the teacher's experience, lack, existence, and quality of innovations, all the teachers. Because inadequate formal orientation, lack capacity and ownership, and development process. The second one, the teacher's experience lacks access to information on K-13 revisions because they don't have reliable information and they don't have enough information for English language teachers. The third one, the teachers experience lack advocacy from administrators because school principal only announced the K-13 revisions. And then the fourth one, lack of formal teacher advocacy, because all the teachers said that they don't have adequate formal professional learning community, and they don't have teacher union. The fifth one, they lack external change agents, because school superintendent didn't provide necessary interventions to help the teachers dealing with K-13 revisions. The sixth, all the teachers reported that they experience passive community role because community tend to trust government and school in terms of curriculum. So community doesn't give any special intervention to help the teachers dealing with K-13 revisions. And then the teachers experience lack government policy and funding, proven by lack of resources, facilities, and professional development. In implementation stage, the teachers experience that they think the K-13 revisions is not needed. Most teachers, 8 teachers reported that the K-13 revisions is not needed because it is too often and the teachers lack support to understand and also to implement the K-13 revisions. And then 12 out of 14 teachers said that they lack training and detailed information that make them experience K-13 as not clear. And 14 teachers experience the complex K-13 revisions due to complicated student assessment, complicated lessons, and complicated teaching strategies. And 13 out of 14 teachers experience less quality and practicality of K-13 revisions because of the difficult lessons and also the reduced teaching time. In terms of local context in implementing K-13 revisions, most all the teachers experience lack of support and attention from the district, lack involvement from board and community, passive change leadership role by principal, and also passive teacher role, because most the teachers prioritize implementing the K-13 revisions in terms of curriculum planning documents only. For external factors, all the teachers reported that they lack stimulus for reform from regional Ministry of Education and Culture, Ministry of Religious Affairs, and universities. In terms of the second question, what are teachers' perceptions of the K-13 revisions? So, the teachers have intense concern about management, time, and logistical aspects of K-13 revisions, such as lack of teaching time and resources. And then, the teachers want to know more about the way to implement the K-13 revision requirements, such as HOTS or HOTS, higher order thinking skills, and 21st century skills due to the lack of formal training on revised curriculum. So you can see here, very high number in management with the explanation in red font, and the purple one is informational as the second high stage concern, and the explanation is in the purple one. For the last research questions, which is to explore the factors facilitate or hinder teachers' implementation of the K-13 revisions, most the teachers reported that school principals, vice principals in charge of curriculum, and cooperation among teachers are facilitating them in understanding the K-13 revisions in initiation stage. While lack of information on K-13 revisions, lack of professional development, and lack of formal teacher advocacy reported by most of the teachers participating in this research are the factors that hinder them to understand and learn the K-13 revisions in the initiation stage. We come to the implementation stage. Most the teachers said that what facilitate them in implementing the K-13 revisions are free printed English textbooks from the government, published student version, and teacher professional responsibility as well as internet. These all factors that help them to implement the K-13 revisions. For the hindering factors, all the teachers said that lack of ongoing learning opportunities on K-13 revisions, lack of teaching time, lack of learning facility and resources, and lack of student engagement are the factors that hinder them in implementing K-13 revisions. So, in conclusion, what are teachers' experience of implementing K-13 revisions? The answer is teachers lack support in implementing K-13 revisions. And for the second research question, What are teachers' perception of the K-13 revisions? The teachers answered that they were most concerned about the lack of teaching time and or management required by K-13 revisions. What about the third research questions, which is exploring the facilitating and hindering factors in implementing K-13 revisions? In initiation and in implementations, the facilitating for initiation, as I said in the previous slide, that school principals, vice principals in charge of curriculum, cooperation among teachers at school. And while what hindering them in initiation stage are lack of information, lack professional development, and lack formal teacher advocacy. And 4, the factor facilitating teachers in implementing K-13 revisions are free English textbook, published student worksheet, internet, teacher professional responsibility. While what hindering them are lack of ongoing learning opportunities, lack of teaching time, learning facility and resources, and lack student engagement. There are several recommendations that the researcher could give through this research. For the researchers are expected to use verified research constructs such as CBAM or other change-related models to guide and assess the effective implementation of future curriculum revisions. Recommendations for policymakers are: they should evaluate K-13 before giving revisions. They should involve teachers in revising curriculum, and they should involve wider community to support change implementation. The policymakers should provide training and adequate information on K-13 revisions in the initiation stage. They should provide ongoing professional learning based on teachers' concerns, and they also need to provide adequate teaching and learning facilities and resources. The English language teachers are expected to proactively search for information on K-13 revisions and conduct personal, informal, professional learning activities on K-13 revision so they can be more professional and they can be more competent to implement K-13 revisions properly. Thank you very much for your attention. See you next time. Bye.